The Elder Scrolls Online enters its second decade with the 2025 Content Pass, a new delivery model that asks players to pay upfront for the entire year's content. While this sounds convenient in theory, it also makes evaluating the value proposition a bit of a challenge, since at the time of writing there are still 2 quarterly updates to be released. It all kicks off with Fallen Banners, the now expected 2-dungeon release. Players know exactly what this means. A couple of well-crafted dungeons, each with their own quest to provide a mini-story and a skill point reward, as well as a handful of new bosses and locales. While it's solid, it's hardly surprising or a major selling point. That said, there were still some bright spots. In the Exiled Redout dungeon, I really enjoyed the Executioner Gerency boss fight that featured a mechanic of avoiding an arena floor made up entirely of spikes. We have seen this in many games before, but it added a touch of surprise and danger to the otherwise formulaic experience. The second release, Seasons of the Worm Cult Part 1, is currently the biggest foundation for players to evaluate their interest in this content. With a new zone to explore, a new trial to overcome, and a story to pick up on from the past, it's here that things get interesting and a little complicated. Starting with some of the good, the Island of Solstice is a visual delight. Initially, I was worried that this was going to be another forest and coastline combo, but ended up being really surprised when I started exploring a haunted house, a magical carnival, and it gave me the feeling of multiple biomes within the same one region. The main story was also a treat, offering a deeper dive into ESO's lore and pulling off a genuine sense of nostalgia, not just through a couple of cameos which we've seen in the past, but with meaningful callbacks to the base game's events and experiences. Unfortunately, this also means that for the first time since the 1 Tamriel update, this is not content that I can recommend to new players. There is narrative homework to be done, as you'll want to complete the base game to see the events that lead up to what is currently taking place. While the main story is great and the side quests do a lot to add flavor to it, it all wrapped up in about 6 to 8 hours for me, which felt like the shortest offering since the Thieves Guild Dark Brotherhood days. What's worse is that there is no new public event like the Dark Anchors or Harrow Storms of the past. You're left revisiting the old map markers, Sky Shards, Delves, and of course the new trial if you're into group content. With the omission of any sort of new class, activity like archaeology, or new gameplay mechanic, despite the content being polished and enjoyable, it clearly seems aimed at ESO veterans. Those who've stuck with the game for years and just want new lore, new motives to collect, and new achievements to complete. For those players, there's a satisfying, if familiar, experience here. But if you're a casual fan still working through years of previous expansions, or a new player wondering where to start, you can safely place this on the back burner. Once the Q3 release hits, we can evaluate if it's larger than what used to come after chapters, and at that point you can safely make the decision if you want to dive in or wait for a sale. The Elder Scrolls Online 2025 Content Pass starts with a safe, familiar foundation, and a genuinely enjoyable, if brief, story expansion for veterans. But it's hard to ignore the lack of innovation or the cautious release pacing of the new content. With the year's value yet to be fully realized, it's best viewed as a wait-and-see proposition unless you're already a devoted adventurer who was just waiting for more to do in the game. The Elder Scrolls Online 2025 Content Pass currently earns a 7 out of 10.